I'm Pratish from Manchester, and at Light Lunch today we pay homage to cult TV show This Life and pay Harry Hill to cook. Cue titles!
Hello there, I'm Mel.
And so I suppose I have to be Sue. Welcome to Light Lunch.
Now, I literally didn't sleep last night because I was so excited about today's guest. Not only did I forget to put the clocks back, but I also forgot to actually go to bed because today we're eating lunch with the stars of my favourite TV programme.
Sadly, oh darn it, it's no longer on. But if I said, right, there was a strong woman and men in suits whose job it was to sort out people's problems, I think you know what I'm talking about, yeah?
I do, and I'm beside myself with excitement to be sitting down to lunch with Esther Ranson and Gavin Campbell from That Line.
No, you're wrong.
And Simon Fan.
No, you're wrong. I said, well, if you look at it from Mars, you're right. You're that close, okay? Look at it from Earth, you're very, very out indeed. We're joined today by Ferdy, Warren, Kira and Rachel from the unfeasibly fantastic hit TV show This Life.
Not Ferdy, the gorgeous leather-clad, long-haired motorcycle courier who spent most of Miles's wedding in the loo.
Yes. And not because he was feeling poorly, that's for sure. In real life, he is Ramon Tikaram, who now has a new job playing Judas in Jesus Christ Superstar.
Yes.
But he's still wearing feathers. Thank you, Jesus. Oh, is what I have to say to him. And what's more, we get to reunite Ferdy with his ex-boyfriend Warren, that is Jason Hughes in real life, and find out from him why he disappeared and didn't resurface until the final episode.
I can hardly control myself.
Control yourself, okay? Now, we saw wandering Warren and our favourite TV courier Ferdy doing a bit of a pick-up this morning. Have a look at this.
WC1. Cheers. See that? Just picks up the packet and leaves. No wonder in talking to the staff, cheeky comments, showing off his pecs.
Well, no, it's ridiculous. You'll never build up a whole character like that, will you? So what time tonight then? Eh? Yeah.
Larging up for some theatrical applause there. God, he's a fox. There
He is
are
a fox.
foxes, a couple of foxes, a pair of fox eye. Fox eye, that's what they are.
Fox eye.
Now, we're also joined by Kira, a.k.a. Louisa Bradshaw-White, who is one of Ferdy's favourites on his daily rounds. She is the spicy office junior who has her pierced nose in everybody's business and her finger in several pies.
It's too good to be true.
Simmer! And that's not all. Also eating lunch is Rachel, Natasha Little, who underneath her sweet exterior was a scheming, conniving vixen.
Yes.
Grr.
But she certainly got her comeuppance when Millie decked her with the right hook that Prince Nassim would have been proud of.
Absolutely. We caught them
Yes.
bonding in the loos this morning, just like they used to on the show.
So which one's Mel? She's the one with the hideous roots. And which one can't get a boyfriend? Well, that's both of them, really.
We love them. No booze on this show.
It's harsh, but fair. Anyway, we are beyond thrilled.
We're beyond
Chill
thrilled.
band, you're on a limited contract, remember that. We are beyond thrilled. We are over that moon. We are in a frenzy of anticipation. Because today, we say, this life lives on.
Yeah, now if there's anything you'd like to ask our This Life lunch guests, like was it all love and friendship behind the scenes?
Or were a few real punches thrown, then you can.
Simply call us now on 09904lunch if you have an alphabetical phone. And here with the number is that lovable lawyer, that awfully amorous advocate, the mouth-wateringly melty-making Miles.
And so that is 0990 45.
I'd really like to take down your particulars, Anna.
86.
Well, at least let me see your briefs, Anna.
24.
Go on, I'll show you mine, and they're very small.
You heard it here first. Or fax us, why don't you, on 09902 lunch, if you do have a saucy alphabetised fax. If you don't worry. Here's the hard-drinking, raven-haired, hot vixen Anna with that number.
That's 099025.
Do you have a bottle opener, Miles?
86.
Do you have any idea where your girlfriend is, Miles?
24.
Do you want to snog me till our lips go numb, Miles?
Brilliant. Was that a Scottish accent there?
It was
Yeah,
Lithuanian,
yes, it was good.
but it came... I was tricking you, see?
Okay.
Good.
Just checking.
Morley. Now, from the sublime to the utterly ridiculous, tragedy has struck last week's top pop combo, the Lightning Swedes.
What?
Walking past a frozen food factory, they inadvertently slipped and were sliced, diced and packaged for peckish housewives across the land. Typically, we have got a brand new band. They're groovy, they're trendy, they're alternative, yeah? Well, they're an alternative to butter, anyway. They're Steve, Matt, Dylan and Dan. Give it up for the Lardigans. I like them. Who are those lads? Now, today we have a very funny man cooking up some top-nosh. Actually, he is so funny, you don't really associate him with cooking at all, which is okay, because he isn't a chef at all. You're more likely to find him at the Comedy Store or fronting his own show on Channel 4. But he swore blind that he could cook, so we said, prove it. Please welcome and give it up for cult comedian Harry Hill. Hey there, how you doing?
Hello.
Hello, lovely. Hey, you cocks. How you doing?
Very well,
Excellent. Collars are looking starched and spicy.
yes.
Excellent.
Yes. Double-size iron for those.
They're fantastic. Now, what are you cooking for us today, Harry?
I'm cooking chops and mash.
Chops and mash. Let's see that recipe board. He is cooking, and I am thinking...
It's the national dish. Do I just...
I think you just weigh in, my love.
Right, well...
What are the take us through the ingredients of chops and mash, because we won't know that, will we?
Well, mash is a shortened term for mashed potato, of course.
Okay.
So we take the potatoes and we peel them like this using this... it's an advanced peeler. It's not the one I would use, but you see, it just...
We're going into the new millennium now with our technology here.
The
Stop peeling.
the skin yields itself to the cutter.
To the firm hand of Mr. Hill.
But I must... so they come off, and then this is all boiled up in a pot.
You
make
can do that.
the-
You have to literally do that on
the
television.
mashed potato.
Are you a big This Life fan? Do you check it out when it was on?
This live?
This is
course.
live, yes.
No, this live.
This Life, yeah.
I love it. It's the one with the lawyers in a flat, isn't it?
Saucy lawyers, yeah. Doing all sorts. All kinds of things. Who was your favourite character?
Oh, the one with the long hair.
Ferdy.
Ferdy, yeah.
Tell me about it. He's a fox. The man...
He was...
Mel and I were trying to just outdo ourselves with flirtation in the makeup room. I think it panned quite badly, but never mind.
That's one. So that's one done.
I think it's a well-peeled potato. Hey! Do you cook at home at all?
I do cook at home whenever I can. You know, it's so difficult, isn't it?
To do a chop and a mash of an evening.
I normally rotate it. Pork chops one day, lamb chops the next.
Yeah.
Then...
It's a shame they don't do chicken chops, isn't it? And then you could have sort of three
Well,
meals.
you laugh, but it used to be turkey. Used to be just breast and leg, didn't it? But of course, turkey now gets a sausage, so things do change, Sue.
Yeah.
Hey?
There's me, stuck in the old school of meat eating.
Oh. Now, this is... Some of these curves, some of the more acute curves, it's quite difficult to get round, as you can
The
imagine.
more
but-
oblique angles are tough, even with the most modern potato peeler. I
And
find.
there is that knobbly bit on top. I don't know if you can see that.
Oh, it's a knobbler, that one.
Perhaps you can show that.
Can I tell you how much I love what you do? I got up at 5:45 this morning and watched your video.
Did...
I did, that is true as well. I thought it was very funny. Can you tell us a little bit about it and where it was filmed? And...
This video. Well, I've got this video out, and it's me mainly, but also
There's quite a lot of you in it, isn't there?
Stuffer, the cat, makes an appearance at the end. He helps me out. And of course, what better way to finish a live comedy video than with a badger parade? A parade of...
and it begins with a man with an enormous face, which is excellent.
Oh, the boy with the big face,
Boy with
yes.
the big
There's a
face.
short film in that about a man who has been born with a hideously enlarged face.
Well, no, it wasn't booked.
We tried
He
to
had
get
it
Nicholas
smashed, didn't
Soames for the part, but he couldn't do it. Now
Well, he's not available.
Those go into there.
go in.
Before we following that, I just peeled them and...
he? I think people got it.
Okay.
People got it.
We drop those in like that.
What's your top tip, Harry,
And,
on the potato front?
well, I don't really have a top tip specifically for potatoes, but
think-
for any young mums watching, I would say don't take the baby into the bed because there's a chance you might fall asleep, roll on top of the child and put your back out.
Yeah.
Now, did we season?
I think we'll season. I think
look
while
at-
you're seasoning a chop, I'm going to go and see what young Mel is doing in the audience. Now,
Right.
Mel, did you know they're going to make a programme, a TV show, about the heady social world that I live in?
Yes, Sue, it's called No Life. Now, lads, nation, everybody, it's a bit of a red letter day today, isn't it? Well, red letter week, really, for hundreds and thousands of pupils, teachers all over the land. It's half term. Give it up for half term! Now, before I start to look in your lunchboxes, everybody, I must just ask you, Sue, what do you like at school, out of interest?
What was I like at school? I was, oh, there you are, Melly. What was I was boring, dull, unintelligent, disinterested and lame.
Good that you said that, because I have got a few of your old teachers here today in the audience, obviously. Now, can I turn to you first? What's your name, first of all?
Miss Sullivan.
Miss Sullivan. Hands up, Miss Sullivan. Yes, good. And Miss Sullivan, what did you used to teach at Sue's school?
Sport, PE.
You're a PE teacher.
Yeah.
What's the name of your school? Are you all from the school? Sue's old school. There you go. Welcome. Hello there. What's the name of your school?
Grahamhurst School.
Grahamhurst?
Crohamhurst.
Crohamhurst School, OK. Right, let's just kick straight in there now. Now, what was Sue like at sport? Rubbish? Lame?
Lots of energy. Lots of energy, verbal energy.
Yes, but...
And Sue, which way do you hold one of these? Which way up? Rough go.
The triangle with the thing on goes down. And you pole vault over it.
Correct.
Did Sue get involved much in the sporting life of Cromehurst School for Girls?
I remember...
School for Girls.
Absolutely.
The School for Girls. Sue Perkins. There you go.
Organised a 20-lap run of the field once. Lots of energy there.
What you might call a fun run.
A fun run, yes,
I've got
indeed.
proof here. The sponsored jog, Susan Perkins' Lower Six, actually wrote an article for the school magazine about the fun run there. Lovely. I'm going to come down. Are you a girl at the school, at Perks' school?
Yeah.
Oh. Do you want to grow up to be like her? No, look what I'm doing. No. Trust me, you really don't. Now, what have you brought in for your lunch today?
Tomato salad.
Well done. Lovely.
Ribena.
Good. Very good.
An apple.
What else? What have you brought in? Hello.
Brought in some blonde hair dye for your roots.
Are you trying to tell me something?
No, I have got roots myself.
Yours isn't dyed, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, it looks very natural. I might actually just take that with me for later use. Thank you very much indeed. Let me go. And we got more of Perks' old school here. Hooray! How you doing?
All right.
Hello. Is your school magazine still going, actually?
Yeah.
There are some very, very interesting bits and bobs that I've discovered from old school magazines. Sue writing about drama in the upper fourth, apparently. Short story competition. Who won it? Susan Perkins. In the upper sixth. In the upper sixth there we go. A review of the magic flute. My goodness me. So what would you say on the whole? Was she a good pupil, bad pupil?
Very inspiring.
Oh. Oh, okay. I thought we'd get...
It's inspiring. Thank you.
I thought we'd get some more dirt out of you.
Well,
Yeah.
no, I wouldn't like to dish it.
We shall chat later, little Sue. Now, Sue, isn't it amazing how this life has changed so much since the first series? I mean, not an organic vegetable in sight, and I haven't seen Margot and Jerry in it for ages.
What happened to Tom and Barbara as well, right? That Barbara's turned Scottish and Tom started having sex with men. Oh, sorry, I've confused that with The Good Life for hilarious comic effect. Can I just say it wasn't inspiring? I was perspiring, it was PE. Okay, it's different. I didn't know about that. I am humiliated, I'm ashamed. Next week, thank you, a few supporters for that. Next week, Mel, it's over for you, chum. Now I'm in the kitchen with the man who put the hill into hilarity. It's Harry Hill. How are the chops doing?
Oh, they stink bad. I don't know what that lard. I think I put a little bit too much lard in there.
Yeah, why are you cooking them in lard, Hazza?
Well, why change the old systems?
You're a traditionalist when it comes to, you know, your cooking.
As my mum used to cook, your mum was probably the same as from the system she used. From the age of 0 to 5, we were allocated 1 chop, 1 scoop of mash, probably the same as you.
Was she a dinner lady?
No, she was standard. From the age of 5 to 8, we were allocated 2 scoops of mash and 1 chop, and then from the age of 8 onwards, it was 2 scoops of mash, 2 chops. So that was the ceiling level. We couldn't.
You never got higher than that?
We couldn't go any higher.
Did she use a little ice cream scooper thing?
She did, and we have the original scoop here.
The Mrs. Hill scoop.
Look at the engineering work on that.
It's astonishing. You don't need frills, do you?
Now we've I've mashed the potatoes, of course. No, I haven't mashed them. I've cooked the potatoes, and now I've just got to mash them. I don't know whether we can see that. But,
you're refusing our brand new, newfangled moolie masher here. Want to have a crack at that?
Well, I suppose one has got to move with the times.
I think what you do is, hang on, I've got to work this out.
I think you pour the mash into the...
Yeah, that's it.
See, man does like a challenge. You know you can get more sherbet on a spoon, but still you persevere with that lolly, don't you? Right? Hooray!
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 Look at it! Look at him go!
It's done. There's the mash
it's
there.
Potato worms. We show that to a camera. What you got there? Potato maggots.
We now a little bit of butter there, just to moisten that up.
Just to give it a bit of flavour.
A little bit of milk to just take the edge off. And then we mix all that up lovely in the...
You've done well there.
Pot.
Now, you've had a dodgy chop at Robert De Niro's restaurant, isn't that right? Or was it, you had a chop experience, I think we can safely say.
Well, I was in Robert De Niro's restaurant in Tooting, and...
He was going there to method act a part instead of a restaurant.
No, he's got this restaurant in New York, and I went there. It sounds very flash and exciting.
It is flash and exciting.
But I had a lamb chop there and broke a tooth on it.
Did you go to him and just sue him? Did you go and have a word with the man?
It's not in my nature to cause trouble.
Did you cross swords with the Godfather?
No, but I tell you what, I didn't leave a very big tip.
I'm surprised, it's disgusting. And you've been on, like in America, you were in David Letterman. People who don't know David Letterman, he's a big star, massive
He's the Des
ratings.
O'Connor of America.
It's a lot like this show, but without the ratings, obviously. Similar kind of thing. What was it like in comedy in the States? Were they freaked out by your cuffs and your collars and your presents?
Well, I went and did it in the clubs to start with, and they didn't really get it because, of course, the American style is very much sort of, hi, where are you from? Who's the guy with all the socks?
Yeah.
When you wash your clothes, you always end up with one
nod.
sock. Who's the guy with all the socks? And I didn't... And they were laughing at that, weren't they? They liked that routine.
We've got a very American crowd in here.
And so I'd come on like this, of course, and it was very difficult for me to start with, but I soon adapted.
And you went again, in fact.
I'm going in January.
Oh,
and again, in January I'm going.
Now, how are the chops looking there?
Well, I think they're done.
The chops are pretty much done, aren't they? They're very much the sort of... There's an Anthea Turner of meat chops, aren't they? They're sort of filling and fulfilling, perhaps once a week, but you wouldn't want to have them every day, I don't think. You wouldn't want to have them every day. Now, join us after the break. We're going to be sitting down to lunch with 4 fantastic stars from the cult smash hit This Life. And here is a welcome reminder.
Warren, give us an hand clearing out them boxes from under my desk,
Now.
please. You come for the letter?
Yeah.
Now then.
Didn't see you in the pub the other night.
No.
Never mind. Bring them most nights.
That was sheer quality entertainment, that. And clip wasn't bad either. Yep, we're going to be back to meet 4 stars of This Life, so we'll see you in... Emotionally resonant. Thank you, Lardigans.
Keep music live.
Keep it real.
Welcome back to Light Lunch, where in a jiffy we'll be lunching with the nation's Fab Four, Kira, Warren, Ferdy and Rachel from our favourite TV show, This Life. And asking that all-important question, why won't there be another series?
Why, Roddy,
Why?
not? But first, we have blown up our inflatable newspaper pool and have been taking our customary paddle through the day's news. Now, the shock report of the day has to be the news that Paula Yates is to marry Michael Hutchins.
Yes.
Think about it. At the wedding, we can expect canapes, sausage on sticks, and also the rest of their children.
Now, you may have heard there's a new book out in America which reveals the odd and downright unusual beauty tips of the stars. Their homemade beauty hints include one from Jerry Hall, who uses lard to stop unsightly stretch marks. So obviously she hasn't tried it on Mick Jagger's face then.
No. And Cindy Crawford. Cindy Crawford says, I'll get back in the knife drawer. Now, Cindy Crawford says she uses coffee on her cellulite, an idea she got from Mel, who just uses full-fat biscuits.
That was my reaction.
Mel react.
Now, crashing on, Zsa Zsa Gabor always get that wrong. Zsa Zsa Gabor recommends using overripe bananas as a face mask, but we've got a tip for her. Zsa Zsa, in future, take them off before you go out.
That's
okay? Take them off.
Bananas not good
Take
when
them
you're
off.
out partying and
Take them
raving in
off.
show business. And last but never least, the Queen is to make her Christmas broadcast live this year to show how the monarchy is moving with the times. So next year we can expect a £10,000 prize draw and the catchphrase, nice to rule you nice.
Well, good evening. One little thing. Sorry, I have to
How
say
come
this.
I knew this? Go on.
Going back to Sue's school years. This is from S. Addis, your Latin teacher. What Susan lacked in intelligence, she made up for in stupidity. Thank you. Thanks, Mrs. Addis. Miss Addis. Off you go now, Susie. Crushed
Like
like
a hedgehog under a huge transit van, I move into the kitchen. I'd like to say, Mel, any more from you, and I'm going to tell them where Nigel the guinea pig really sleeps. Now, I'm back with Harry in the kitchen. How have you been treating those tatties, young Harry?
Well, the potatoes are all ready and the chops are in their,
They're
in their presentation plate. Now I make the stock. Now this is an amount of stock that I've made by boiling up 15 sheep.
15 sheep in a vat?
Boil them down till you just get the goodness out. And
that's about all the goodness you would get.
And you put that
sheep.
in the pan with all the fat, and you take all the little tiny brown bits. And let's go, shall I serve up now?
I'd like to see you serve.
So we take our scoop, which has been moistened to allow easy release of the spud. You take a healthy scoop and just release.
Excellent.
You notice that with the release and
drop.
Release.
It's astonishing. It's a damn busted, but with potato.
It cheered me up. Let's serve this now.
While you're daubing gravy on, I'm going to dish out the recipe details. Now, if you'd like a copy of Harry's recipe for chops and mash, I give you a clue. Don't bother writing in because it's made of chops and mash. But if you'd like to, send an SAE to us at free post lunch, okay? State which recipe you'd like, or you can tune into Foretell on page 330, or you can find us on the World Wide Web at the Channel 4 site on the internet. And if you're not internets, put up some Venetian blinds. Can you recap on your chops and mash?
Mash the potatoes, cook the chops, make the gravy, and serve.
Delicious. Hager Hill is in the house. Thanks for coming on, Harry. Good luck with the video. It is a cool thing. Now, band, are you hungry?
Yeah!
Audience, are you hungry? Yeah! You treacherous bunch of monkeys. Now, let's eat lunch!
Nigel the guinea pig sleeps in a cage, nowhere near my bedroom. Now, where were you on August the 7th, 1997, eh? Well, Sue, myself and 5 million others were glued, literally, to the final episode of the drama that's been described as Friends, directed by Mike Leigh. We describe it as buddy brilliant. So please put your hands together for the stars of this life. Warren, Jason Hughes, Kira, Louisa Bradshaw-White, Ramon Pickerham and Rachel Natasha Little. Oh man, Ramon, how you doing? Oh, hi there. Hey. Wow, I'm so excited. This is amazing, lads. This is so cool. Welcome.
It's Christmas.
Welcome one and all to Light Lunch.
Thank you.
You can speak. You can say something. You're all right.
It's all very free and easy.
Tuck in now.
This is
Go for it.
mash and chops. It's a very difficult recipe. I'll take you through it later.
Harry Hill's mash
Do
and
you like mint
chops.
sauce?
Sorry.
Oh, I'll bring it on my plate. Come on.
Yeah?
Amazing.
Dig in with a little bit of mint sauce on the side. Oh, Louisa, have we a veggie amongst our midst?
I'm not vegetarian, I just don't like lamb. I don't like the smell of it, actually.
I
your
usually
lamb
like
away.
lamb, and I don't like the smell of this.
What's yeah, it's lamb.
Oh, right, no, that's fine, that's fine.
Is that okay? when were you all sat at table like this for the last time, eh?
I know. May the 10th, 1997. And I know it because, yes, it was the last supper.
Was it the last?
Well, the last one with all of us involved.
No, it
Yeah, he
was the
was.
rap party.
You must have been really...
Oh, no.
Tell us about the rap party. Was it very, 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 very drunk?
I can't remember.
Was it very wild?
Were you very drunk?
Very drunk, yes.
Where were you?
No, I wasn't. I didn't drink.
We were at the studio. They built a big marquee there inside the studio.
Oh, that's lovely, isn't it?
So you see all balloons and all that.
Oh, gorgeous. But do you sort of get together like this much, or is it a bit of? Is this a bit of a kind of one-off for you?
This is a one-off. Thank you to you.
One-off, yeah.
Because we work so hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, in other things. Apparently Natasha's doing loads of movies at the moment. So
We'll be coming on. We'll be coming on to that a little bit later on. First of all, this life, this ruddy life.
Yeah.
Now, it started off as quite a sort of small, culty series that only a few people were kind of in the know. It was like a sort of secret code, wasn't it? This life, this life. But then it just became this massive, huge success. Well, why do you think it became such a mega hit?
I don't know, I think it's something to do with an unrepresented generation.
Right.
No.
Okay.
It was us.
Was it?
You think it was boobs?
Yes, it was definitely boobs. They were tucked away the first
Girls?
series. Second series, we let them hang.
Good amount.
But it was male booby bits as well as female upper booby
Mel,
bits.
they weren't booby bits.
I know they weren't booby bits. I
There's something
understand.
we need to talk about later.
But when did you? I mean, you say that it's the kind of sexual frisson that made it a big hit. When did you first realise that it was a big hit, Natasha? Did you?
I think when I went out shopping with my photocopier, and someone asked me if I was Rachel from this one, and I didn't have any costume on from the show or anything. I wasn't holding a cup of coffee.
Why were you with a photocopier?
Well, I used to go out with my photocopier before in the hope that I'd get recognised. Sort of dragging filing cabinets. Look, I was in the show.
Yes. How about you, Jason? When did you first realise that it was a mega hit? Do you think?
Just that, people pointing at you and calling you Warren in the street.
Yeah.
Very strange experience.
Did they quote things at you and stuff?
No, not so much that, but just sort of like the old, yeah, Warren! And it's very strange when you wander around. doing your thing day to day, and then all of a sudden people know who you are.
Yeah,
Very
absolutely.
weird. Very weird.
Now, it was written in the papers, I think, this weekend that there's not going to be a third series. Can we believe that? I mean,
I didn't know, actually.
it was in the papers.
Okay.
At the weekend.
We brought you on to dash all your hopes.
Cheers.
There's all this nice stuff.
Oh, right.
Is that the end of this life, do you think, really?
Well, it's not been said to us, I don't think. Anybody's been told officially, but that's a, heavy-handed way of telling this across the newspapers.
Yeah.
I think we've kind of known for a bit anyway, though, because the new series they were writing was for a new cast anyway.
Is it?
Yeah. Sorry, yeah.
So
How come you didn't tell me?
why a new cast, though? Just because you were all going off doing other
It's all
things?
because I cut my hair. Surely. It wouldn't have been a show.
I have to say, you were there before Jerry Spice with that red hair. Thank you. You were.
You were
Thank you.
Seriously.
Seriously.
She followed in your wake.
If they
Followed
came,
me, didn't she?
She did.
She did.
Thank you.
if they came to you in 5 years and said, look, guys, we've got a new series. It's called Afterlife or whatever, something, whatever. This Life Mark II. Would you do it? It's 5 years down the line. Would you want to do it again?
I'd have probably cut my hair by then, but yeah, I'd do it. Yeah.
Don't
Yeah?
cut your hair.
Okay, I want to cut my hair by
You
then.
have great
so-
power in that hair.
It's beautiful hair,
Trust
mate.
me.
Trust us.
Oh, no
You're the
one
Samson.
has
You're the Samson of the hair world. How about you, Jason? Would you do another shot, another series?
I don't know. It's 5 years. It's a long time away, isn't it? I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah.
It's gone now. I think the thing about doing a third one as well is that, the pressure on it to
Yeah,
be good,
yeah.
and the expectation on
Sure.
it to be, because it got really, really successful in the second series. It became, a lot bigger than the first series.
Absolutely. It's good to go out on a peak.
Yeah,
Definitely,
we
so
went
that
out
people
with a
remember
bang
it for
and
the,
Yeah, it's nice that people talk about it in a positive way rather than go,
Yeah.
well, thank God that's over.
Sure.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah.
on set, when you were making this life, was there a lot of kind of pranking around, tricking and pranking around? Always looking at Jason for some reason. Louisa, you're a little prankster.
Jason was annoying, wasn't he?
You
It was
are.
Jason, actually.
It was
He used to make everybody laugh.
Are you Jeremy
And
Beadle?
He could keep a straight face.
What kind of things did you get up to?
Just plays rugby in front of loads of people. That's what he used to do.
No, I have this terrible urge to want to make people laugh in the middle of takes, and
But the only man that could keep a straight face. So he'd just carry on. We'd be like,
because it's so pressurised, you've got to get things done every day, and there's a certain amount of time you've got to get done, and
Yeah.
we've got a schedule so long, and
Yeah.
it's really pressurised, and
Yeah.
I can't resist it during the day for us to have
Keep
a little
everyone
bit of a
going.
mess around. At some
We
point.
heard the Showbiz Bird, who you'll be meeting very, very shortly.
It's an astonishing
The
creation.
real Showbiz Bird told me that there was some story about Louisa going off to the ladies and there was some terrible prank you played on her or something.
Me?
Yes, Jason. Lighting matches. Sounds familiar.
You know about it, obviously.
He doesn't remember. Crashing on. Crashing on.
Oh, well.
Okay. So what about, obviously there are a lot of love scenes on this life. We talked a while ago about the kind of sexual frisonnerie that was going on. Did you find that quite embarrassing? Ramon, you were involved in a fair
I
few
don't find it
yourself.
embarrassing at all. In fact, I used to wear... What did I used to hate it? I used
oh,
to,
yeah, he used to walk around naked in the
boxers and big rubber boots and stuff like that, and just like turn
and
everybody.
throw himself everywhere.
Yeah.
He loved
love
those
green.
days.
How about you, Jason? Because you were boyfriends and boyfriends for a while, weren't you?
Is that relish or what?
Did you get embarrassed, Jason? Did you find it a bit embarrassing?
Yeah, God, and it was him too. So he's wandering around with his buttocks and chest flying in the wind, and I'm kind of with this hairy bummed Welshman sitting quietly in the corner. But very sweet. It's very sweet.
Very loving.
And
No,
it was only
lovely.
that one I had to do anyway. So I mean,
Yeah.
by the end, it was cooking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good call. Louise, I think, am I right in saying that you're the only person on this life who actually managed to keep their clothes on at all? Is that right? We never saw you in the buff.
I don't think anyone needs to see me in my clothes on.
Why did we never see you in
The ratings would have gone right down.
Rubbish.
No,
Rubbish.
yes, I did keep my clothes on.
Any reason for that? Or?
The first series, they were really happy about it because I wasn't in it so much, and so it made it easier for the second series for me to say, no, I'm not taking them off. I didn't think it was that necessary for me.
Yeah, in the office situation.
And in
the
bed.
middle of the day.
And Joe had to keep
Just to
his
get your
clothes
clothes
on
on.
as well, so I think that's why they put us two together.
Right.
Totally under the duvet.
Are you right there, Natasha? You're quite quiet. I'm
just getting into my match.
She's all right.
What was it like being on the receiving end of one of the best punches in televisual history?
That was amazing.
Knockout blow, that one.
she never actually touched me, except for once in the rehearsals, where I was sort of thinking, oh, perhaps it would be a good idea if I could grab you by the neck. And I sort of suggested this as she was punching me in the face. So that's not a good idea.
It was a humdinger of a punch, wasn't it?
It was a humdinger of a punch.
Really good connection by the look of it.
Yeah.
Actually, I think it was more painful for Steve, who had to catch me as I fell every time.
And did people,
Hernia
what was the
inducing.
reaction on the streets like after that? Because Rachel went from being, I mean, we always had suspicions about Rachel, being a bit conniving, but
Yeah,
went
she
for
was.
the real welly on the last one.
Well, I think she was just badly misunderstood, really. I have to start.
She was a cow! She was a cow!
She was a vixen, I'm sorry. Did you have much to do, the four of you and the rest of the cast, with like lines in the script and ideas for plots and stuff? Did you contribute much? Mouthful. Get in with the mouthful. Ramon, what do
Our
you think?
personalities implicitly, I think, gave rise to a lot of our further ideas. Yeah.
For us, really, we'd get the script and we wouldn't have to change anything because it was done so well.
So would you say that there's a lot of your own personalities within the characters that you played? Because Keira, I mean, you're the kind of office gossipy type. Are you like that in real life? Hey.
No.
No, not at all.
Okay then.
A little bit. How about you, Jason? Is there a lot of Warren in you?
That would be interesting.
It's a fine question. Is there?
Bits and bobs, I think. Yeah, you always kind of inhabit whatever you do with a little bit of yourself, don't you?
Yeah.
You know, things that you know that you can do, you kind of chuck in there. And,
Yeah.
But
You strike me as very kind of down-to-earth sort of people. Did you have a sort of method, you know, into your parts? Did you take it quite seriously, or did you just go out there and do it, you know?
Just turn up really blear-eyed. They don't give enough time to kind of give rehearsal or anything, and that's why it sounds so live and kind of real.
It's almost like a documentary, isn't it? And the way the camera is kind of, you know, shifting.
Yeah, it's just get a bunch of actors, don't tell them what they're about to do, and then just thrust them in there and they find their own, you know, find their way through the... There's no marks or anything like that.
Oh,
So
wow.
it's kind of,
So the camera is literally following you.
it's
very
very
much.
So you can do what you like. You can go where you want. That's brilliant.
Jason, why did your character leave so halfway through-ishly?
I don't know, lots of reasons, really. But, I mean, I got a chance to leave and do a play with kind of some mates of mine. And, you know, what it's like doing things with your friends. It's good, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I really enjoy that, you know. And I wanted to do some theatre as well, so that's what I've been doing since.
We saw you on the boards.
We saw you
certainly
treading
did.
them there, boards.
Yeah.
It was a good thing.
I wish you'd come the next one.
They're sad now because they're saying you don't consider them to be friends.
Yeah, went off to do some work with some friends. What does that mean?
Well, you horrible lot. I mean,
I've just got some news in. The news in is I'm quite bad at acting when news comes in. That's the news. I can conclusively reveal that there will be a new series of This Life. We will tell you more after the break. Make your tea, and then I want you back here in 3.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Welcome back to this Monday's Light Lunch. Hooray! So far on the show, we've been this close to the stars of top cult TV series This Life, and soon we're going to be finding out even more about them.
Now, as we mentioned before
Sorry,
that
I'll
break,
sit down.
there will be a third series. Sit soft, my love.
Thank you, my love.
There'll be a third series of This Life.
Yes. Sue and myself have written the first episode, and I think that after watching the clamour... Sorry, I'll start again. I did that extremely well, but I will do it again.
Lamb chop was out of your mind.
It certainly has. Yes, Sue and myself have written the first episode, and I think that after watching it, the clamour to bring back the show will prove too great for the bosses at the Beeb.
I know. We've persuaded the stars of This Life to indulge us in our ultimate fantasies. It'll give the band a break anyway. And perform in what we like to think of as our greatest work to date. So here it goes, and thanks to the 4 of them, This Life, Series 3.
Man, I am so tired. I'll never get used to spending all night having sex.
And my jaw is so stiff from all that swearing.
Morning, everyone. Boy, I feel rough. But what a night last night. I don't know when I drank so much.
2 nights ago, I'd imagine.
You know, things have got really dull since Millie, Anna, Miles and Egg left.
Yeah, we could really do with a couple of lively, funny, intelligent new flatmates.
Yeah.
Well, I wonder if we'll get any replies to that ad I put in the paper.
Everybody! Oh, wow, yeah, this flat looks ideal. Now, where shall I put my guinea pig Nigel, eh? He's so cute, you'll love it when he comes crawling into your bed at night.
You certainly do, but he won't be the only one crawling into beds at night, will he, Mel? You think, Pixie?
Hello? Yeah, goodbye.
Who was that?
Miles, he's left Francesca and he's moving back here with that blonde girl called Mel.
Yes, it's true. Miles and I are in love.
So that means that I won't be sharing a room with you, Mel.
No.
Sue, I'd love you to move into my room with me because, Sue, I think, in fact, I know I love you. Ferdy kisses Sue passionately.
All the best stuff.
Will Mel and Miles make each other happy? Will Ferdy manage to prize himself away from Sue? Will Mel ever have her roots done?
Christmas is come. The man is a hot rod.
You got to snog him.
And that's not all.
You were. Now, that is what I call drama. If there isn't a third series commissioned by this evening, I will cry. I will literally cry. Anyway, thanks very much, guys. You were superb. Beautiful. Lovely.
Just calming myself. Now, with This Life No More, can you tell us what you're up to, all of you, in show business land? I'm going to start, and I'm doing a little sweep of the lounge. I'm going to start with you first. What are you doing at the moment? You're in the movies. She's in the movies.
I've just finished something for Channel 4 called Big Women that actually Daniela Nardini, who plays Anna, was in as well, playing Saffron, a magazine editor type. And before that I was doing Far From the Madding Crowd for Granada.
Very quite serious thespian going on there.
Yeah, playing little Fanny Robin, who dies.
She dies?
She dies.
Does she die of an accent overload?
Yeah, she does. She dies from imitating a...
She's eaten by her own accent.
Imitating a cow, I think.
Now, what are you doing, Louisa, at the moment?
I'm doing the Christmas special of Birds of a Feather at the moment.
Lovely.
Really serious testing.
Majestic dance. Can I interrupt at this point and just say, do have a sip of your booze. It's very, very good.
What is it?
It's a sort of sweet dessert wine. Do partake.
This is a time bomb ticking for me, it's booze.
Very, very good. Sorry, Louisa.
And we know what the two of you are doing because we have seen you in Snake in the Grass. We've watched you treading them boards with Kevin Whately, who's a very nice man.
He was on here last week, wasn't
he's
he?
a top dance man.
I thought I was going to be here with him, but no.
We have to have you're two big stars. You need separate spaces. We put you together, there'll be like a supernova of stardom, you know. And Ramon, you are in Jesus Christ Superstar.
Yeah, thank
And
Judas.
we went to see you last week.
Yeah.
You're a star, and I have to say, the people you work with are all loves.
They are wonderful.
They were really nice to us.
Yeah.
And some of them are here today, but we won't embarrass them by pointing them out. Okay, now the phones are literally ringing off those walls, so let's nail them back on the walls and answer all those burning questions. Line 1. Hello. Jackie.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm feeling a lot better. Ramon's tended to certain things that were lacking in my personal life, and I'm feeling just tip-top. What's your question?
My question's for Ramon and Louisa.
Okay, far away.
How did you feel being in the new Elton John video?
We loved it.
Yeah, it was great fun. It was just great fun because everybody there was so beautiful, gorgeous, tall, lovely and everything, and there was us two providing all the comedy.
And I hate watching myself on telly, and yet I've got to admit I kept rewinding and watching
It was very cool. It's
I
brilliant
think
video.
there's Kate Moss, isn't it? Yeah.
Did you meet the great man himself?
No.
I did have an audience with, but not at the time.
He'd gone, hadn't he, by the time we got
Yeah,
there?
yeah.
Just you and all those supermodels and
Yeah.
hanging out together.
Yeah.
Thanks for your question, Jackie. Cheers. Mel in the audience with the
Hello, I'm here with Ruth. Look at this lovely little tray of little sweetmeats. You're watching Channel Putty 4. What's your question, Ruth?
Okay, this is for everyone.
Go for it.
Did you have a say in the clothes you wore?
Did you ever say in the clothes you wore?
What did you think
I didn't gravitate towards you in that one.
No, I really didn't.
No, say at all.
Well, no, I mean, leathers is
Of course
what
we didn't.
Courier wears.
You never got out of your leathers ever, did you?
Well, I got to wear suits towards the end for weddings. I was going to say funerals then, for weddings and stuff like that.
Yeah, at the end you wore a suit.
Yeah.
You must have had a bit of a say, because I was wearing a pair of jeans that you wouldn't wear.
So you got...
always had a tantrum when I refused to wear them.
So I got them. Did you have a show business tantrum?
Yeah,
Like, what were these?
I didn't have much, especially those shirts I had to wear. Pat Butcher style shirts, as they said in Attitude magazine. I said, thanks.
Doesn't like the flowery shirt, so they didn't choose their own costumes. I'm just going to literally do a really quick fact. Sue and Mel. Finally, someone's got it the right way round. I would like to... I'm joking. Honestly. I would like to ask Louisa if she enjoyed snogging Joe, her boyfriend in the series, and does he have a woman in real life? If not, please pass on my details. That's from Rebecca Hanley, you fox.
Oh, yeah, I loved snogging Joe.
He's a very good-looking man, I have to say.
Yeah.
Single for Rebecca?
No, he's very much in love.
Happily ensconced in the
I'm sorry, Rebecca. I don't want to crush you.
But he was a great snog.
Hey! Mel in the audience.
Putty 4 for you, Gary.
I want those.
There you go,
Thank
you little tinker. Lovely. Okay.
I've got a question for everybody as well, please. Was there actually a leader of this life gang?
No.
A leader? No.
No, I think we didn't really require one. So we were certainly louder members than others. Yeah.
Considering the pressure that we were under and the amount of hard work that we had to get through, it was remarkable that we all kind of, we remained good friends and had a good laugh and a good social life throughout, which, was a blessing, really, because it could have got nasty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Under those pressures. But we didn't. We all kind of...
No, it did when you left.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Of course it did, yeah, it did.
Just turned it into a cat fight after you
Oh,
left.
yeah, very
They didn't have the
bitchy.
controlling thing to keep them all together.
That's right, been ground in it.
We're going to get to line 2. Line 2, hello there. Tamara. Tamara.
No.
I lied. What's your name?
Oliver.
I'm just trying to catch you out, Oliver.
Yeah, nice try. Can I just ask...
Ah! We have an ironic man on the phone. What's your question?
Well, I was wondering, Natasha, how you got the part of Rachel. And I was wondering if... oh dear. Jason could just say outstanding one more time.
Can you say outstanding, first of all?
Outstanding.
Outstanding, there you go. And how did you get the part?
I went for about 5 auditions. So
That's a lot of auditions.
Yeah, that's like sort of 3 episodes, probably. And, and just sort of read different scenes each time. The last one I read with Andy, who plays Egg. He was actually reading Warren.
Really?
Yeah.
The second one?
Yeah.
I'm still auditioning for this show. They tell me next week whether I've got it or not.
Yeah.
Oh, well, good luck.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Oliver, I called you Tamara. I think we now have a Tamara.
Yeah, hi.
Hi there, how you doing?
Okay.
Just my silly mistake.
This is for Raymond.
Ramon.
How did you feel about playing a gay character, and were you worried about being typecasted at all?
No, not at all. I think when you're playing a gay character, or just playing a character in love or a character confused or whatever, you play that before you play, the sexual difference. And no, I wasn't worried about anybody sort of typecasting me at all, because I made a film just prior to that called Kama Sutra, in which it's very clear that...
It's hot rocks, isn't it? Let's face it.
I can do both sexes.
Good man.
Yeah.
Good man.
He flits between the two with grace and ease. Now, Ramon, you're going to perform a little treat for the two of us now.
Yeah.
You're
Go
going
for
to
it,
prepare those humming vocal cords.
Oh, is my...
Thank you
There you
to
go.
every single person
Thanks
who's
to everyone
phoned and faxed us your stars. Thank you.
Great. Now, the bad news is we can't take any more calls.
But the fantastic news is that West End superstar Ramon Tickeram is going to sing for us. Take it away with the old Mama and Papa's hit, California Dreamin'.
All the leaves are brown and the sky is gray. I went for a walk on a winter's day. Yeah, I'd be sick and warm if I stayed in LA. Yeah, California dreaming on a winter's day. I went for a walk, I sat down to pray. Yeah, the preacher likes the call, and he asked me to stay. And oh, California dreaming on a winter's day. California dreaming on a winter's day.
Top
Top
dance. Now, time is running out now. We'd just like to thank the super talented, lovely people from This Life, Ramon Tickerham, Louisa Bradshaw-White, Jason Hughes and Natasha Little.
Hey.
Plus, an enormous thank you to Harry Hill for cooking lunch.
Top chops. Now, don't forget to go and see Ramon in Jesus Christ Superstar at the Lyceum and Jason in Snake in the Grass at the Old Vic. They're both in London.
Yeah, I'm slightly half cut on this, but not to worry. Don't miss Harry Hill on tour around the country.
Please don't write to us saying that Mel is drunk. We know. Join us tomorrow when we're meeting two awesome Australians, Rolf Harris, Kathy Lett. See you tomorrow. Have a great night.
afternoon.
Hello, I'm Chris Fraser from Liverpool. On Light Lunch today we go Cult TV crazy with Avengers superheroes Patrick McNee and Honor Blackman. Cue special titles.
By keeping people off the streets at lunchtime.
What did you think about our titles, eh?
Couldn't quite get that carnation into the buttonhole. I even noticed that. I had to hold it in the end.
Now, listen, Prince Charles was in the news today for looking like a bit of a scruff. One paper described him as Compo out of Last of the Summer Wine.
Now, apparently what had happened we can exclusively reveal. His shirts had been all neatly pressed and laid out in a room with a telly in around about this time yesterday. And hearing our jokes, the suit just creased up.
Oh, dear. Now, Now, the really big news. Parents the land over are up in arms because Fave Children's programme Playdays has been replaced by the Teletubbies. Now, for any of you out there who don't yet know who the Teletubbies are, allow me to elucidate. Now, imagine Sue, if you will, was a Teletubby. She'd have a large round face with big ears. She'd be wearing a citrus romper suit, and she'd have a TV screen for a tummy. Yeah. Now, if the mental picture that conjures up is a little frightening, here's the real Teletubbies to make things clearer.
Yeah. Oh, don't say oh, dear.
I love them. Yeah, we like. Uncanny similarity to Sue, really, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cosy. Now, apart from taking over from Playdays, the other bone of... Are you all right there?
I'm fine.
You cleared your sinuses?
Slight sort of, you know, I'm fine. It's fine.
Good. Now, crashing on, apart from taking over from Playdays, the other bone of contention is that the Teletubbies talk in silly baby voices. And they say things like, hello, instead of hello. Things, it's not sweet. Things are beginning to get out of hand. Now we have supporters of the Teletubbies and Playdays battling it out in playgrounds all over the country. And we can now go over exclusively to Primrose Infant School for an on-the-spot update from our reporter, Kate Eady.
Thank you, yes. Teletubby supporters have taken up strategic positions just behind the sandpit. And those loyal to Playdays have moved in by the seesaw and are advancing on the swing. However, Teletubby supporters are confident of victory now that they've called in reinforcements from Jackanory Rainbow and John Craven's News Round.
Thank you, Kate. Very good. You like that? South African, apparently. I particularly like the words... You say in again for us. Thank you, Kate. We'll keep you posted as and when things develop. Now, who saw the Avengers on Sunday night, eh?
Don.
Still cool after 30 years.
Oh, yes. And today we're having lunch with the main man himself. Suave, bowler-hatted steed, Patrick McNee, or Pat, as I like to call him. Now, Pat has just written a punch-and-tell book about the Avengers in which he admits to being a very kinky man. Yes, we'll be probing him about that and more later.
And joining Pat is his first and sexiest female sidekick. Honor Blackman played all-punching, all-kicking Catherine Gale in the first 3 series of The Avengers, and is to leather and kinky boots what Sherry Blair is to shell suits. Now, Honor left The Avengers to play the most famous Bond girl ever, Pussy Galore. I just thought of a joke about
Crashing
that.
on. Today on Right Lunch, we pay homage to those cult crime fighters when we say, The Avengers, still kinky after all these years. Now, not only kinky, I have to say, but also pretty blooming scary, too.
Yeah.
It was very much diving behind the buffet for young Melly when The Avengers came on. It was all weird 60s Britain with empty streets and a lone milk float driven by a spooky bowl haircutted man.
You know why? You know why the streets were deserted?
No.
Do you know why?
No.
Well, it was the 60s, mate. Everyone was inside doing free love.
Free love.
They were just doing free love everywhere
All
in the
the time.
60s. It was just free love that and free love this all the time. For me, anyway, it was Doctor Who that was particularly scary, especially the one entitled Doctor Who and Some Maggots, which that was a rough title. I can't quite remember
Wasn't
the real
exactly
title
called
of that. But anyway, I do remember it involved some pulsating larvae that pulsated like this, and they came from the planet Mars. Couldn't tell you very much more than that, because I spent the full half hour behind my parents' buff-coloured 3-piece suite. Not much of a story, that, but I did get to do that action, which I enjoyed quite a lot.
And there was that terrifying Avengers episode, I don't know if you remember this, with a man painted blue who had a metal finger and he'd read your thoughts through the finger.
Through the finger.
It was terrifying.
Yeah.
Terrifying.
Programs were properly scary in those days when we were kids.
Yes.
I used to check in my wardrobe every night before I went to bed for those maggots.
Yes. Metal finger. And I used to jump into bed from 3 feet away from the bed so that the ombudiominum spider wouldn't get me.
Ombudiominum
Yes,
spider?
the Doctor Who ombudiominum on the back there.
Oh. And after a particularly unpleasant episode of Buck Rogers in the 25th Century, I would get my parents to test all my food in case it was poisoned. I still do that.
Still does that
this
now.
very day.
Very annoying. If you have any questions for Patrick McNee, such as, does he really have an air-conditioned garden? Or you want to ask Honor Blackman whether she still wears leather, then call us on 09904 for lunch if you have an alphabetical phone. That's 099 45
Pinstripe
86
Purdy
24
Gambit
or fax us on 09902 lunch, or in the style of Suzanne Charlton reading the weather last night, that's 099 25 86 24.
Light showers.
Good.
Poor Suzanne, I hope you're better.
I know.
You've taken a day off today.
Take
Good
it
for
easy,
you.
love. Take it easy.
Now, it's time to say hello to our Pinstripe Posse, the boy band which is both prickly and sickly. Please give it up for Steve, Matt, Dylan and Dan. Give it up for Buns and Roses. That Avengering has tired me out, I don't mind saying. This is day 2 of, well, we haven't put on enough weight yet week, when instead of cooking a regular lunch for our guests, we simply bypass the main course and head straight for the pudding. It was a bit of a favourite of mine this week. Cranking up the calories today is a cook who has a very, very famous surname and is also famed for her puddings. Please welcome Jocelyn Dimbleby. Hi, how are you doing? I'm breathless after my jigging around there. My moves. Now, what are you cooking for us today?
I'm cooking. Well, you haven't put up that notice yet,
No,
have
I'm
you?
waiting for you. Taking my cue from
I think
you,
it's a
Jocelyn.
it's a very good title. I'm going to steal it for my next book.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm cooking an upside down.
You're referring to this now, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm referring
Should I tell you
to
what you're cooking?
that.
Who's cooking today? A high-class tart. But we were going to preface it by saying honey glazed fresh apricot tart.
Exactly.
Any other jokes you want to destroy for us?
It didn't mean the tart, did it?
No, it didn't.
Not that one.
It did mean the tart, not anybody else. I would never
Anyway,
say that. You're going to use that for your book
I'm
now?
always teased about my tarts. My children are always teasing because I do so many tart recipes, and I always preface them with some little luscious sort of introduction. And the one they particularly liked was, this is a miraculous little tart.
They like that one.
They think that's fantastic.
Always good to get some more tart jokes in, I think. I think it's good.
Yep, exactly. They are.
Now,
good.
how do you get
Okay, so
started with this?
this is a tart with a heart, and it's fresh apricots and elderflowers which are in season.
Okay.
And
never seen one of these
came from
before.
my neighbour's garden. They're a weed. You can get them on the commons. You can get them near the motorway. If you get them near the motorway, then wash them well.
Are you related to Hugh Fernley Whittingstall? He picks nettles from sort of compost heaps and things. And comes on the show.
Better.
Really?
Elderflowers much better.
I might give these a bit of a smell.
Yeah. They smell horrible.
Yes, they do. Good way using them.
They taste absolutely...
That's my elderflower face.
They taste like muscat grapes. You know those Italia grapes that are wonderful in the autumn? They taste like anything. I mean, they're an aphrodisiac.
Now, how do we start this thing off?
Okay, we start this thing off by making this pastry, which I sort of feel I invented. Anyway, it was just a shortcut. I'm very keen on shortcuts because when I started cooking, I had all these little children, and there was never any time. So that's what I had to do.
You have to go quickly about your tarts, don't you, when you got
quickly
nippers?
about the tarts, yes, exactly.
So sifting some flour away there.
And this is flour and icing sugar.
Good.
Sifting it in, and then you have to put in a bit of salt because salt brings out the taste of sweet things in the same as the way a bit of sugar brings out the taste of savoury things.
Do you have to use icing sugar? Can you use any other kind of sugar?
You could use caster sugar. You could use golden caster sugar, particularly good because it's raw still, comes from Mauritius.
No.
And oh, I can't bear this.
Go on.
I ought to be singing, oughtn't I?
Yes, this is singing in the little warm-up. You'd be surprised to know we do rehearse the show slightly in the morning. You were singing, weren't you? Because you like to sing as you cook.
Well, that's what I was trained as, a singer, not a cook.
Can you give
and
us a
I've
quick
always wanted to do a television programme which is called The Singing Cook, and I couldn't think how to do it except to sort of do something like, "This is a high-class tart." But then what do I do?
I don't know what you do as a follow-up to that.
I'm going to put the lemon juice.
Now what's
lemon juice, lemon rind, and rind of the whole lemon. You want it? Oh, sorry, wrong way around. We want it all very lemony.
So how much butter do you reckon's gone in there?
A lot.
Good. I say more butter.
No, but
more
I mean,
lard.
you know, a pudding is a treat. A pudding is an orgy. A pudding is pleasure. I mean, why do it with sort of fatless butter if there is such a thing?
Horrid. No, there is. They
Horrible.
bring out some
Certainly
stuff in America which is
taste
fat-free.
the same. I mean, you might as well enjoy it. It's for enjoyment. That's why I like doing puddings. That's why I've done 3 books on puddings.
Yes, you have.
Pleasure.
Do you want to talk about that now? Your 3 books on puddings?
Well,
I'm going to talk about that a bit later.
Yeah, all right. You talk about it later.
What's your top tip for this section?
My top tip is that if you want to make this wonderful, buttery, crunchy, biscuity pastry, which is so easy, even crunchier, put in a little bit of, about an ounce of semolina, fine semolina, instead of an ounce of flour. And it'll be really, really, it's nutty, it's wonderful.
So just
anyway, in goes the lemon juice in with the butter.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if it curdles. Sorry, I did that in the rehearsal. I should have learned. Anyway, there it goes. Sorry, I'm not very dainty in the kitchen.
Are you calm?
I may be a high-class tart, but I'm not very dainty.
I think you should.
Anyway, here we go.
Pour that in.
Just pour it in. You see, this is for pastry makers who have never made pastry and know that they're not very dainty.
So we're just going to mix it all together?
Mix it all together, and that's literally it. And I'll show you later what you do with it.
There you go. There's your quick pastry for you. Now, Mel, my dad had an Avenger in the late 60s.
Yes, I should think he probably did. A beige 4-door Hillman Avenger.
Carry on laughing, carry on laughing.
Darren's gone. Darren has gone. Hello there, Mr. Orange Shirt.
Hello.
Who are you?
I'm Darren.
Darren, welcome.
Yeah.
You bought some...
We have, yes. Sushi we got today.
And you're with... Hello, who are
Dotty.
you?
I'm Dotty.
Dotty.
Dotty, yeah. Dot on the trot. Always on the trot.
Dot on the trot.
Yeah.
Welcome to Light Lunch, Dot on the Trot.
Yeah.
Slightly mesmerised by a sort of swinging jewel that's in your hair there, Dotty. I'm feeling a
hats.
little bit hypnotised.
I know, it's all right. I make hats, dear. I'll make you a hat.
Oh,
I make
do
hats.
you?
That's
Can
what
you
I
make
do.
hats?
Yeah, I could make you a special hat.
What sort of hat?
Well, it's going to be exotic like you.
Oh.
Yeah. A night hat.
A night hat?
A night hat.
To
What
wear
about
while
that?
I'm asleep, in bed?
Yeah.
Very good.
One
Crushing
for
on.
Monday, one for Tuesday, one for three. You know,
You don't want to overdo
no.
it, Dotty.
Right.
You don't want to
Right.
overdo it. Now, you brought your sushi here, obviously. Did you make this down?
Yeah. Well, I didn't.
You didn't make it. What I'd quite like to do is test your sushi eating skills. Should we have a little bit of a competition here? On the count of 3, get your chopsticks at the resi, and let's see who's best with the chopsticks. 1, 2, 3. Dotty first.
Up you
Darren, you're in all sorts of trouble. You've got a lot of tissue there. Are you all right?
No.
Did it go in the mouth?
Oh, yeah.
Oh dear.
Sometimes you miss it.
Darren, you don't... It's been lovely. It's been lovely talking to you. It's all going pear-shaped. I'm going to head off now. Dotty, see you soon, my love. Darren. Oh dear. Looks like I'm about to propose. Hello. Hello. Who are you?
Anne.
Very nice to see you, Anne. You haven't bought any. Have you bought some lunch?
Yes.
Oh my word. I have. Oh, you bought so much.
Ah, because some of it's for the band.
Hey! Oh look, and it's like lunch and anchovies.
And
That's
that one
really
for them
nice.
also says B&R.
What's that? Oh, buns and roses. Oh, Anne, bless you. Hello. And you bought biscuits.
I'm Dan's aunt, so I brought
Dan, the
biscuits.
keyboardist
You would
aunt.
expect, yes.
Oh, that's lovely. Hey. Is Dan a hungry boy?
He's a hungry boy, so he's got special pigs.
And he's been working very hard on our show, tinkling away at the
I've
old
been watching
ivories.
him. I know he is.
So
Yes,
we'll
it's
pass
great.
the pig biscuits over to them.
Good.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for
Cheers.
having
Are you all right there, Darren and Dotty? Yeah. All right. Now, here we go. Sue, Blackman, Rigg, Thorson, Lumley. What do they say to you?
They say leather vice, gun vice, Tara vice, and Purdy vice. The original Vice Girls! Hey! I am here still in the kitchen with Jocelyn Dimbleby, who sidestepped the main course for our special guest and is serving up one of her famous puddings. Now, have you written some books on puddings?
I've written, I always forget how many books I've written. I think I've done 17 books altogether, 3 on puddings.
There you go.
This recipe comes out of a wonderful book you could buy in Sainsbury's called The Almost Vegetarian Cookbook. Has lots of good puddings as well as everything else, of course. So there's my little plug.
There's another little plug
anyway,
for you.
Here we go. We better go on with it.
Okay.
This lovely, lovely tart is an upside-down tart, and all the best ones are, you know. And then and you just spread. Sorry about doing it with my hands, but that's part of the kind of pleasure of cooking, is it being so sensual.
Mucking in and...
Yeah, I can't use sort of spoons and things if I can possibly avoid it. And
I've
also,
had a childish mud
good
pies
for your skin,
thing.
isn't it, really?
Or butter.
Well, no,
Apply directly,
any
not
kind
good.
of moisturiser you need by the time you're my age. Anyway, here we go. Then sugar on top of that. It's all gone in a lump with the little lights.
Lovely.
And then you start putting the apricots on. Will you help me?
I will do. Just put that there.
There, yeah. Right, here they go. Those bits of the second layer which don't show. You see, these bits show.
Okay.
Do them the smooth side down. I think that looks nicest.
I'm helping.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is an alternative job, you know. You could be
I might well be looking for one in a couple of weeks. There you go.
You'd be good at it.
Oh, just a sous chef then. I don't get to be the main event.
Well, you know, you can work your way up.
But these goodies
Yeah,
for you,
that's
apricots,
fine.
are they in season and stuff?
Well, they're just coming into season, but nowadays, you know, they have apricots almost all times of the year, which is why you can make this tart all times of the year. And if you can't get elderflowers, which you can't get all times of the year because they're just wild, fresh thyme is a very good alternative.
Really?
Really good. And
with
then,
sort of sweet
and then
things?
ground cardamom, which is another of my passions. There are various passions I've got, well, an awful lot of them.
We don't have time to go into those
food
passions
ones,
now.
which are especially elderflowers and basil and cardamom, and they're, I call them food orgasms. Yeah. And I promise you, I mean, as good as, I mean, really, really, really good.
Well, there's another top tip. They just keep on flowing, these sausages, don't they? Elderflowers, apparently.
Yep.
Now.
Elderflowers, yeah.
You going to show us what you're going to do with this pastry?
Now I'm going to do with the pastry. You literally just, you can do a bit of this.
Oh, you're going to put the elderflowers
Oh, the
in?
elderflowers. Oh, dear, I always forget the elderflowers. Here we go. You just shove this in. You just pull them off.
You wouldn't have your food. What's it if you didn't put your elderflowers in?
Pull them off. They got my fingers are so sticky. They're all sticking to the elderflowers. Anyway, that's what you do because they're just giving a flavour. You see, it's a most wonderful flavour. You'll be so excited by it.
I can't wait.
It's really exciting.
Who's on tenterhooks about these elderflowers?
You'll know what I was on about. You really will.
Okay.
Fantastic. Then here we go with the pastry. And you just literally...
So you don't have to roll it out?
You don't have to roll it out. You don't have to have kind of the special pastry touch.
I need to do a bit of this now.
Yeah, do it, because it's really pleasurable too. You know, it's all this sort of sensuality of food. It's absolutely wonderful.
This is real kid stuff, isn't it? This is mud pies, this is all that stuff you used to do when you were little.
Yeah, children like helping.
Can I do a little bit of that?
Yeah, please do. Please
Our hands
do,
are
you know.
clean, so please don't
That's
write
the
in.
trouble about television cooking, is there's no time to kind of stare out of the window. is
Now,
there?
what's your top tip for this part?
My top tip for this is really the thyme and the cardamom
As an
instead as an alternative. Yeah,
Fantastic. We'll leave you
exactly.
pressing away there.
There we are.
So join us
Pressing
after the
down.
break. We'll be
And then you
stopping.
put it in the
hello.
fridge. Sorry. You put it in the fridge. You must put it in the fridge before you bake it.
There you go. Put it in the fridge before you bake it. Can I carry on now?
Yes, you can.
Thank you. Join us after the break. We'll be scoffing pudding with two screen legends, Honor Blackman and Patrick McNee. Patrick McNee was always so suave, so cool, and he's still so cool. He hangs out with Oasis. Take a look at this. And so we shall see you in... More fun for wig makers, that's what I say. Welcome back to Light Lunch, right here, live on your 4th channel. Today we're going to be having pudding for lunch with the original Avengers Patrick McNee and Honor Blackman, and cooking it is Jocelyn Dimbleby. Hey, this is what it looks like when it's finished. There you
Well,
go.
no, it doesn't.
Oh, well.
Nobody sees this. Your guests see, and this is the great big moment, the upside down version.
Drum roll, please, Madam
Which
Agility.
is, this is a very nervous moment. It doesn't always work.
Okay,
well,
we'll give
it
it a
does,
try.
of course it does. Okay. Ah, I think I can feel it. If only you had the elderflowers, you could decorate it all around with the elderflowers. Tip, that's one tip. The other tip. Do you want the other tip?
Why not?
The other tip is that when you've cooked it, leave it either in a very warm room, like this is a terribly warm room,
It is, isn't it?
or in the oven with it turned off for about at least 15 minutes, so the juices, if there are too many juices, seep back in again, because otherwise they'll all pour out when you turn it out. But I would decorate it with elderflowers, wouldn't it? Look a dream.
It would look very pretty. How long has that been in the oven for?
And that's been in the oven for, well, the thing is, what you do is usually sort of 30 to 40 minutes, but what you should do is look at the pastry. It must get really brown, because everybody's ovens are different. And, you know, always remember that when you're doing recipes. I mean, never quite obey it. I mean, some people, you know, obey recipes so much that when something begins smoking, smoke billowing out of the oven, they say, oh, I have to leave it in there. It still says another 10 minutes, you know. I mean,
So see when it goes brown, if that's a fan-assisted oven, it's approximately 30 seconds.
Here's the last touch before you put it on the table, just to make it, I mean, glossy, sumptuous.
Just to gild the lily.
Wonderful. You know, I mean, won't your guests be pleased?
I hope so.
Yes.
What do you serve this pudding with?
Well,
Butter?
I like it. I like it actually with lovely runny double cream, or you could do creme fraiche, or, you know, if you're a bit quirky, you can do fatless yogurt or something. But I mean,
please spare me that fatishness.
Forget it. Ugh, this will make wonders happen. I promise you.
Well, so you said. I'll let you know about that later in the show. Now, if you'd like a copy of Jocelyn's recipe, then tune into Foretell on page 330. Or you can find us on the World Wide Web at the Channel 4 site. Or simply send a stamped envelope to us at Free Post Lunch. But please state which recipe you'd like. Now, don't write to Free Post Suzanne Charlton, because all you'll get back is...
She should eat some apricot tarts. She should eat some apricot tarts. That would make her better.
If you're at home watching the show, eat some of this lovely tart. Jocelyn, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Big round of applause. Brilliant. Now, band, are you hungry?
Absolutely.
Now, audience, are you hungry? Yeah! Then let us eat pudding.
had the most famous bowler hat on television, apart from Mr. Ben, and put the S into suave, star of the Avengers and the new Avengers. Please put down your brollies and put your hands together for Patrick McNee! Joining Patrick, joining Patrick is his co-star from the Avengers and the one and only Bond babe. Please give it up for the very sexy Honor Blackman. Hi, Honor. Very nice to see you. Please sit down. Oh, welcome to Light Lunch.
Oh, that looks delicious.
Do tuck into the tart.
Right.
As quickly as you like.
My favourite, puddings.
Is
I'm
it?
a great pudding specialist. Yeah.
Do you like puddings, Patrick?
Well, it's difficult to answer a direct question like that. It depends on the time and the place, and now is not my time for a tart. Not that I'm knocking it. Not that I'm knocking it. I'm sure a little later on, but at the moment, I don't want to get it all stuck in my teeth, if you know what I mean. And you're so quick and so funny and so good. And I was on a radio show with these two the other day. Thank God, because I now know what they're like, you know. If you come across these two and you don't know what you're getting into, then it's not so good.
This was our mini cabbing job at the weekend, Patrick.
That's right.
Moonlighting.
Mini cabbing. Now, I spent a lot of time in one over the weekend, I can tell you.
Did you?
Going from one place to another, right.
So you're not going to eat the pudding, Patrick? Maybe
Well,
have a
not
little,
yet, but I don't
whatever.
have to eat it. Oh, all right, I'll have to. No, I won't. I really won't,
Okay,
because,
that's
you
fine.
know...
Now, apart from backstage, obviously, when is the last time that you two actually saw each other?
The launch.
Did you say apart from backstage?
Apart from backstage.
Yeah, what do you mean by backstage?
This bit, this
Oh,
bit
backstage.
here.
I thought you meant in one's private life, because they're two very separate things. Yeah. We saw each other not long ago.
Yes.
When was it?
Was it the launch of the video? No, once
No,
since.
since then, definitely.
What were we
keep
doing?
in, this is a terrible conversation, because we've seen each other a lot, but I'm 75 years old, and my memory is not what it was. My short-term memory. I did a show the other day, and a young man came up to me and said, "When did you last do live television?" And I thought for a long time, and it was the day before, and it was the same person who'd said to me, "When did you last do live television?" And I suddenly realized it was yesterday, and it was the same person. So that's a tricky memory. So I probably saw her yesterday and can't remember.
No, you didn't. I was in Vienna
And she's
yesterday.
one of the most beautiful women, and she was in Vienna anyway. I didn't.
Patrick, do you remember you've written a book called Avengers? And
I just
you've
remember, but
yeah,
nice of
you've
you
got
to put it that way. Yeah.
No, you've written this.
And I only wrote a bit of it. I got the creator of the Avengers, a man called Sidney Newman, a Canadian, a wonderful man, used to be the head of BBC Drama. He invented the Avengers and Doctor Who.
Oh, wow. So
Yeah.
you wrote it together?
Well, not so much, no, but I had him and about 15 other people, all of whom
Right.
were connected with the Avengers, and we wrote really an appreciation. After all this time, it's
yeah,
worth
too
just
right.
remembering.
It's a very, very good
We
book.
did it. I did
Avengers
it for
and Me.
11 years, as I put a quote in there that Peter O'Toole said. He said, "But Patrick, you're always doing the Avengers." He was right. It was too long, you know. I should have just done it with honour. We should have done it for a few years and finished it. Left it at that.
I don't think it was long enough. I don't think it was long enough myself.
No. You
No
should have
way.
continued.
That's only it was.
Definitely.
It's good we all had different opinions, don't you think? It'd be silly if we
absolutely.
all agreed.
Yeah. But why did you decide to bring out the book now?
Well,
Why
because now it's 35 years on. Supposing you'd done something 35 years ago before you were born, well before you were born, and there came a time you thought, well, I'd rather like to remember that time. But I don't trust my own memory. As she said, Honor said quite rightly to me, "Patrick, we obviously do not have the same recall," meaning she remembered it one way, I remembered it another.
That's true.
So I have covered myself by one writing it was Dave Rogers, who is a complete encyclopedia on it, but more important, having 17 other people to write their memories of it. Then you put it all together and you've got a book. That explains it.
Now, in Patrick's book, Honor, he says that he got very close to you. How close? How close did
Pretty
you
close,
two
really
get?
close. Well, we spent 2 years, I suppose, almost side by side, didn't
Yeah.
we?
And we started the whole thing. I mean, she started. The thing was, there was no woman in it. At that time, you wouldn't remember, because women now rule the whole thing. They're bank managers and admirals of the fleet and prime ministers. But in those days, a woman did not appear on television in an equal position. Honor came and took this part like that and made it equal. So the man and the woman were equal. We created a new thing. We won all the awards, and we're both extremely proud of it.
Absolutely.
Because we did something new. It hadn't been done before.
Definitely. Would you say, Honor, that you were the first sort of person to to do the girl power thing. I suppose you were.
Oh, absolutely.
Definitely. Full
I mean,
leather,
and it-
motorbikes, you know. Fantastic.
Patrick and the producer and the directors, I mean, from the beginning they started writing for The Little Woman by the Sink. And we said, no, please.
Yeah.
Just write it for man and I'll change it.
Yeah, and you did all the fights yourself, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Let's see some action. Let's see some Avengers action. Here we go.
Let me try that one.
Excellent.
What had Henry to add to the subject of Mr. Teddy Bear?
Well, nothing much, but he'll be back.
That the best you could do?
Well, look, we knew we couldn't hold him. Anyway, he was scared.
Oh, brilliant! Have you not seen it? That was in 1962, wasn't it?
Yes, I think so, yeah.
Ah. Now, Honor, I'm sweating like hell. My feet are killing me. I smell like a polecat. The answer is no. Do you remember saying that? And
No,
what
I
was
don't
the question?
remember saying.
You
But
did?
was it after a fight?
What,
No.
Patrick, do you remember what the question was?
No,
What
she
was
probably didn't actually say it. I think I put an approximation of what she might have said had I done what I would have liked to have done, which has got a little closer to her, you know. And this was her nice way of saying no and keep your distance, and quite rightly.
Oh, now, Honor, you made, was it 52 episodes of The Avengers?
Don't ask me, I don't know.
I think you did. Patrick, you made over 160.
Yes.
Do you still get royalties?
Well, I tell you what's very useful. I had an agent called Richard Hatton, and he's a lovely man. He did something quite unique. He got me 2.5% of the profit participation of that show in 1964, which is many, many, many years ago. And the people who employed me, and all of us, forgot to pay me for 25 years.
Yeah.
And after a good deal of work with my accountant and a few other people, and my union, British Actors Equity, which is wonderful, I got all that money back, and all that money for all the people who were in the show, and I feel very proud of it, and I'm still doing it, even though the show and the whole of the British Film Library is owned by the French.
Congratulations.
Yeah, well,
Very good.
Oh, is it owned by the French? Of course it is, yeah.
Yeah,
Moulin,
Canal
what's it
Plus.
called?
It's like taking a Renoir, taking a Turner out of the Tate, you know, and putting it straight in the Louvre. On a different level, I have to admit. But, and it's not just the Avengers. Well, it's the whole British Film Library. That's 5,000 titles, from The Private Life of Henry VIII in 35 with Charles Lawton to The Crying Game. Every single one of those films no longer belongs to Great Britain. It belongs to the French. So whichever way you want to look at it, they've
Rather shattering,
gone.
isn't it?
Let's get on the- let's get
I
on
quite
the
like
list
belonging
now.
to the French in some way.
Well, our little show, our little show belongs to the French, and God bless them. And Canal Plus are wonderful.
Yeah.
They're as big as Time Warner and better, and they're aggressively going to push all these cassettes out so people can see it in this new digitally restored
brilliant.
form. Yeah,
Look
I'm
forward.
pleased.
But Honor, do you think that it was intentionally sort of sexy and kinky? Did you have that kind of idea when you started?
No, I don't think we thought about it because, I mean, the sexy bit and the kinky bit with the leather happened because I was fighting and I had my bottom to the camera and I split my trousers. And they were very, very prissy in those days and said, oh, we can't have this happen again. And I remember a conversation with Patrick and I think it was Leonard White.
Yeah.
And people were suggesting, what can she wear that's really tough? And Patrick said suede, and Leonard said, no, it doesn't light, it absorbs light. And what about the other side, leather? And that's how it was born.
The leather began.
Yes, and it was nothing to do with sex at that particular point,
Not
or
at
kinkiness,
all.
was
And
it?
also, we didn't even know the word kinky. That was invented by that famous man who wrote the lyrics to Les Miserables. What's his name? Famous journalist. Remember Hill, Dave Lee, and
David
Dum Dum Dum.
Travis. No.
David-
No.
Anyway, I remember in a minute. Anyway, he invented the word
he wrote the
kinky for
lyrics
her,
to
and he
Les
called it
Miserables.
Kinky Boots.
Oh,
Les
that's
Miserables, I
right,
tell
which
you.
we of course
He's a
recorded.
very well-known journalist.
Yes, we're going to be hearing a little bit of that in a second.
Oh, God.
But was of course the early Avengers was filmed as live TV drama.
Yes, you're telling
was
me.
that very, very tense?
Oh, terribly,
Yeah.
yes.
Where
I
did
mean,
you do
our
it?
hearts pounded for a solid however long it took.
Yeah.
What a buzz.
And when it came to the fighting, I mean, particularly because I was the first girl that had ever done it, I had to do it right because otherwise the men would all say, she can't do it, you know.
Absolutely.
So, my heart used to go like that, and I used to go out and practically kill people simply because I was so determined to do
But
it
you were
right.
very good at it, darling. I mean,
Yeah.
were you a black belt? You were certainly a brown belt.
Brown.
Well,
yes.
that's not bad, you know.
Very good. Power.
I mean, for real.
Yeah. Where did you do all your costume changes then, if it was live? If it was
Sort of running, didn't we?
In
Or
the
being-
middle, yes, on the run. In fact, I got a picture of that in my book of running around it, yeah. And it was fun, that. And we never stopped, you see. It was a crime to stop. It was live. We're live now, aren't we? You were out there watching in your home at the time. So whatever happened to us, we could be fighting about 25 stories up and fall off the balcony, but she and I had to get together in a corridor immediately after in a complete change of clothing. I mean, it was ludicrous, and I think that's how the show got his name, for all the things that went wrong.
And I think, that's
Did you have a
why
laugh?
it was particularly exciting, because there was an atmosphere
absolutely.
of terror, really.
Yes, of course they're making a movie of the Avengers.
Yes,
What do you
and-
think of the casting? Got Ralph Fiennes as Steed and Uma Thurman.
That's right.
Nobody will ever be like him.
Well, but if you're going to have it done again, I invented the character. It just said Steed stands there in the first episode, so I had to make it up. But the point is, Ralph Fiennes is probably our finest English actor at the moment, arguably, but very high up there. And also the script, which I have read, is marvellous. I mean, really good.
Is it good?
Oh,
Good writing.
I was amazed.
Yeah.
I couldn't-
Really?
It's got all the right values. It's directed by a Canadian, it's written by a Scotsman, and all the stuff with them is dead right. And apart from that, it's got Sean Connery as the villain. I mean, what more do you
Very
want?
good. What about Uma Thurman? What do you think on her? Will she make a good?
I've only
side?
seen her once with John Travolta. I thought she was terribly good.
Yes.
I don't know. But I mean, it's strange to think that she's American to begin with.
Yes. She's
and
very
he's
versatile.
very English.
Yes.
So is she playing it? Is she playing it English?
knows? We'll have to
Patrick?
wait and
No.
find out.
That's the way she said
Yeah.
suddenly, but very versatile.
Very versatile.
Very
Uma Thurman.
versatile.
We're going to have
Well-
to draw it to a close in this section now, I'm afraid, because we have to take an advertisement break.
Oh,
right.
But if we move to the Suedette lounge area later on, we will carry on our conversation so we can get back to our tart.
Right.
So
Very
join us
delicious.
after the break when Mel will be in the kitchen preparing a cheese plate for the lounge. And to play us into the break, a fine 60s tune, first sung by Patrick and Honor. Kinky Boots. We'll see you in...
Everybody's going for those kinky boots, kinky boots.
Kinky Boots, it's a man who's on the fashion that you borrow from the boots.
Borrow from the boots. Kinky boots, fashion magazines, they wear 'em.
And to rush to obey like the women in the...
Hey, welcome back to Light Lunch, LL. Later in the lounge, we'll be chatting further with Patrick McNee and Donna Blackman. Now, as it's naughty but nice week, we're having pudding for lunch instead of a main course. So what's for afters? Just say, cheese, please, Louise. And please welcome from Jerry Bones. Did I say that right? Jerry Bones.
Jeroboam.
Jeroboams, purveyor of fine wines and cheese, Nicola Cartwright. Welcome. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for inviting me.
That's fine. Cheese. Nicola, cheese.
You like cheese?
I do. I'm a very big fan. What have you brought for us today on the cheese board?
Well, I have a selection of different types of cheese. Soft, hard, wash rind, blue cheese.
And French. Is this?
Yeah, these two are French.
These two are French.
Yeah.
Wow.
These two are British. Just to
Lovely.
sort of like, fly the flag and all that.
Good.
So I start cutting them?
Yeah, go
Show you
for
how
it.
to-
Yeah, absolutely.
'cause you put them on the plate.
I'm always a bit unsure actually how you do cut cheese. What's the best method?
Oh, well, there's an art. There is an art. On a cheese like this, like a cake.
Right.
Always like a cake. So from the
Okay.
middle.
Do you eat the rind?
Oh, yes.
You do?
yes.
Oh, I don't like the rind
Don't
on
you?
cheese. No.
Yeah, but if you scoop it out, there's not much left, is there?
That looks
Is
lovely.
there?
That's a sort of brie.
So I'm like that.
Brie
like a
type
brie.
cheese.
That's Bonchester from
Right.
Scotland.
Lovely.
Okay. Then we'll go into another smaller cheese, the Langres from Champagne. This is French.
Right.
A nice gooey one, very strong.
Oh, that's got
And
a good
smelly.
It's got a good aroma
Yes.
coming off it there.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Have a whiff.
That's strong. That's very strong. Beautiful.
Okay.
And what about this one here, the lovely blue one?
This one, I'll use my...
Special
Andy.
cheese
Oh,
cutter.
yes, yes.
I was always quite scared of these. We had one in our local supermarket.
It
A
does
bit like the
nice.
metal finger in Avengers that could read your thoughts. Like
Okay,
that.
with this cheese, because it's quite large,
Right.
we use the cutter, down like so, towards...
Good action there.
Yes.
Just a little light
That's
tug.
right.
Beautiful. There
Put
you
it back
go.
on your board.
Now, what comes first, pudding or cheese, you think?
Cheese.
Cheese before pudding.
Definitely.
Why is that?
Well, you want to finish off your wine, don't you? Your bottle of red wine. And savoury.
Is it something like sort of cleaning your palate?
It is.
I always find that a bit sinister myself, but You know what I mean? Cleaning off the palate.
It's keeping all the savoury goods together. You've just had a lovely main course. Go on to cheese, all savoury. Then you go into your pudding with your sweet wines and all that.
That's another thing from France, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Everything ends up with
French.
France
I
at
know.
one stage or another. Lovely.
And then the hard
What's
cheese.
this one?
This is Lincolnshire Poacher.
Lincolnshire Poacher?
Yeah.
Lovely.
Won the best British cheese last year.
This is my favourite type of cheese, I have to say.
Cheddar type.
Like my men, I like them strong and mature. Good. Now, Sue has rather simple tastes, and that includes her cheese. So I put together a cheese plate, especially for young Sue. There we go.
Not from Jeroboam's, I hasten to
Not from
add.
Jeroboam's. It's all processed in a lovely way. Sue, thanks very much for coming on, Nicola,
That's
by the
okay.
way. Looks
Enjoy your
fantastic. Beautiful. Now, Sue, does this get your taste buds into a disco fever?
It looks so tasty, my buds have just broken out into a formation dance routine. Processed cheese, that's what I say. I'm here in the lounge with Patrick McNee, who says he didn't know what kinky meant back in the 60s. And Honor Blackman, who says she spent 2 years side by side with Patrick. Because today we are celebrating all that was fab and cool about the Avengers. Now, you see, can I ask, we played Kinky Boots as we went out into that break. Was it fun recording that single?
Don't ask Patrick. It was all my fault that we
Did he hate it, Patrick?
Oh, he hated it.
No, ask Anna.
Yes.
So she's a singer, and she knows what she's doing. I didn't know anything, and foolishly, I always say yes when I should say no, and always say no when I should say yes. But anyway, I did say yes to this, and I shouldn't have done, because Herbie Kretzmer is very distinguished. He wrote most of the lyrics for Les Miserables, and Dave Lee, two very distinguished musicians. We never heard the word kinky, but she did it and made a big success. Years later, it became, what, in the top 5 on top of the Fox?
I mean, first of all, it bombed, and my children went to school hanging their heads. then it became a cult favourite, you know. And then they were, you know,
Really
raised their
proud
heads
again.
Again, yes. I mean, it still goes on and still gets being played.
Totally, yeah.
It's so
They were
strange.
grown up, though, by the time it became a hit.
Yeah.
When we first started, they were little creatures like that.
You were the Renee and Renata of the singing world, that's what I say. Now, the Avengers was most known for, amongst other things, its fight sequences, as we've said earlier. And I'm going to play now a clip of my favourite one. This is one with multiple personality Jimmy Jewel. I don't know if you remember this, Patrick. Mel might find this a bit scary, so please don't look. But why don't the rest of us have a peek?
Young man, you're sitting on my washing.
Finished it.
How many personalities did he have?
Oh, it's lovely.
Very good idea of a split personality. Just changing costumes and then coming
It's
back
just
into another
lovely.
bunch.
And it can make complete sense, doesn't it? You know,
Totally. It does.
If it doesn't work in one costume, try another.
It went through all the costumes.
Yeah.
I think they had
Good right hook as well. Good.
And, yeah, and a great
good.
comedian, one of the great comedians he was.
Yeah.
Julian Morris.
Was it? Do you remember making that one?
Oh, very well, yes. I loved all those crazy things. Shrinking down to tiny men, doing things that at that time was way ahead of its time because
Yeah,
it was
sure.
fantasy and people said, you can't do that, it's not
Yeah.
for real, nobody will believe it. And they
They
did.
did. The man painted blue with a metal finger. I thought
Absolutely.
that was true.
I can't even
thought that was
remember
true.
that. She had a metal finger. I'm sure you're right.
She's right online,
it's
then.
not another show you're thinking of. No, good.
I tell you what, we're going to go straight to the phones because we have lots of people lined up to speak to our guest today. So line 1.
Hello, it's Martin.
Hi, Martin, how are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
Who's your question for?
Good afternoon, Pat and Honor.
Hello.
Good afternoon, Martin.
And what I'd like to ask a question to Honor. I know you're a big bike fan, but which is your favourite motorbike? And do you still ride?
No, I don't now still ride. I gave up. I didn't ride anything heavier than a 350 because I don't often say this, but I'm just a girl. But I was behind a taxi going around Hyde Park Corner, and the taxi stopped suddenly, quite deliberately, because I was right behind and I was a girl. And I touched his bumper, and my bike went over, and I couldn't get out from under. And when it gets to that point, I think it's about time to give up. But I love it, and anybody who offers me a ride, I'll come.
Excellent. That's what I like to hear.
Very
Thanks for your
nice.
question, Martin. Cheers.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mel in the audience.
Hello there, Susie. This is Claire. Hi there, Claire.
Hello.
Welcome to the show.
Yes, thank you. Yeah,
Good.
I'm enjoying myself.
Right answers. Good. Excellent. Very good. Well-trained audience. Now, who's your question for?
It's for Honor.
Go for it.
Honor, did you enjoy working with Hunter in The Upper Hand? Was he as good on screen or off screen or?
Oh, he was great massaging my feet, wasn't he?
Ah.
He's quite good at other things too, but he was lovely. Yes, I really, really enjoyed him. Thank you.
Ah, this is Hunter the Gladiator. There you go. Now, line 2.
Hi, Gillian here.
Hi, Gillian. How you doing?
I must say, you both look absolutely fabulous.
That's a different show.
I know. My question is to both of you. Would you have liked to have made an Avengers film in the 60s when the show was really popular?
I know what
popular
I would
now, my love.
decide,
Yeah,
yeah, but it's a very good question because I know, I mean, we're all different, but I personally would have loved to have done the Avengers alone with Honor for 4 or 5 years and then put it to bed. She was one of the greatest, most lovely people in the whole world, and I missed her very much.
Oh, get a fan there, Honor.
Yeah.
It would have been fun to make a film. I think it would have been fun, yes. But it didn't happen, and we had... I mean, ours was, in a way, much more exciting because it was live and minute, and filming to make a proper film is very long-winded.
Very tiring.
She had a great life with me, though, and she went on to Sean Connery and made that wonderful Bond film, in which she was absolutely great. And I remember asking her what Sean Connery was like, and she said, and I always remember it, he wouldn't let me get away with a thing, implying that I let her get away with everything, which I did, of course. 'Cause somebody as beautiful as this, how can you not?
There you go, Gillian. Thanks for your call.
Thank you.
And back to the audience. Mel.
Hello there. Sorry, just having a little bit of a chat there. Hello there. What's your name? Lucy. Lucy had a baby 6 weeks ago. Little Phoebe. So congratulations. Thank you. Be good. Now, what's your question, Lucy? Who's it for?
My question's for Patrick.
Go for it.
Patrick, my nanny Eiley, she said that you've got an air-conditioned garden. Is that true?
Well, if you lived in 125 in the shade, which in Palm Springs it gets in the month of July and August, I did it as a joke with Clive, because he said if you got anything funny. And I did have somebody who came from the BBC in New York, and her name was Tiffany. And you do have this outside air conditioning because it gets so hot. If you put it, it was invented by a friend of mine. They used it at the Barcelona Games. They've used it for agriculture. They use it for everything and horticulture. And in fact, yes, I did have it. So if you sat out on your terrace, and it was 125, which is very, very, very hot, particularly for an Englishman, and then you put this outside air conditioning, I said, Tiffany, will you turn on the outside air conditioning? Well, of course, in here, in BBC or wherever it was, suddenly to hear this ridiculous man, and suddenly a light spray comes out, and indeed it's cool and wonderful. Yes, indeed, is to answer.
What a great idea.
It is.
I'm going to have to get myself one of those.
He's done awfully well with it.
Oh, it's brilliant. Line 3 we're going to go now.
Hi, this is Inga.
Hi, how you doing?
This is a question for Honor. You played a grandmother in The Upper Hand, but I was wondering, are you a grandmother in real life?
Oh, no, not yet. I'm not, and I want to be.
So hint there.
If my children are listening, not next week, please, because they haven't got settled relationships. But as soon as they have, please, May.
You know what to do.
Yes.
Thank you.
Are you grandfather Patrick?
Yes. I have a grandson of 9 years old, and I'm very funny, my daughter's son.
So there you go.
Jenny.
Honour your children if they're watching.
Yes, I know. Don't get ideas yet. Don't.
When you have stable relationships. Mel's breaking things, if you can hear that. Just smashing things off set, having an autistic tantrum.
Hello,
Honor, have you got this book?
No, I haven't, but Patrick is going to give me one, and he is going to sign it.
Do you know what? We're going to give you this one. We're going to get Patrick to sign this. Would you mind?
May I do that now?
Sign that for Honor.
Please,
I didn't bring
There
one.
you go. Last question, Mel.
Hey, I'm with Steve. We just had a moment with a wine bottle. Everything all right down there? Good. Steve, what's your question?
What was your, to the both of you, what was your favourite role to date?
Favourite role?
Favourite role to date,
Who,
Honor?
me?
Yeah.
Oh, the favourite role I played up till today?
Yeah.
Well, I think I have to say Kathy Gale was
Kathy
the
Gale is
greatest,
the favourite. There you go. A succinct answer.
Yes, I know,
Wending
well,
moment. Are you
it happens to
signing
be
that?
true, yes.
Can we read the inscription, or is it very personal?
Well, you can if you want.
No,
but,
I think
I've said
highly
quite
personal.
simply to Honor with much love, Pat.
Oh.
What more can you say?
Thank you. Are you two going to stay in touch now? You're going to
Well, we
regularly
always stayed
meet
in
up?
touch, you know,
Yeah.
but for a long, long time.
Good, I'm glad to hear it. Thank you for all your calls today, and thank you for our lovely audience. Thank you, our pudding cook, Jocelyn Dimbleby, and our cheese purveyor, we never tasted it, Nikki Cartwright. Now we have to say a massive thank you to our fantastic guests today, Patrick McNee and Honor Blackman.
It's been an
I'm going home on Sunday because I don't like to leave my wife any longer. She's Hungarian. She has a very strong mind of her own, and she'd say, "You come back."
Well, he's here till Sunday, so enjoy him while you can.
So back to the air-conditioned garden.
Yeah.
That's right, dear.
Lovely.
Lovely question, isn't it?
Please join us tomorrow for a live and kicking show with Emma Forbes and Andy Peters. Thumbs up. And I'd like to leave you with this final thought. Why do toasters have a high setting if all it does is burn the toast? Goodbye.
She was in love.